particular problem, we're not protecting the value of an asset. We've gone through on January 1, or January 2nd of the year, and we have identified a raw material requirement. And what we've done is we need 100,000 pounds of a particular commodity for our production process in June. So we identified material requirements, 100,000 pounds in June. What our concern is, and before we were trying to freeze the price and set a stable price, or we were trying to guarantee a price for selling our commodity. Now we have a situation that we have a price list out there, and people can call, or they can, a lot of it, you know, purchasing now is electronic, and if you've got a price list out there, people can basically log on and buy from you at your price. And you have to deliver, or you want to deliver too. But anyway, what we've done is we're going to have a price out there, but we want to guarantee the raw material cost that's going into that product doesn't change in value. Well, we've got 100,000 pounds, and we know what today's values are. What we don't know is what it's going to be in the future. So we go out and we look, and in this particular case, the future value is $3.05 per pound. So we on 1/2/1, we enter into an agreement to buy this commodity at $3.05 a pound. And like our entry agreement over here, this is nominal value. We're not going to put a value on the transaction here. Realize you would, but we're not. We go along and we get to June. So on June 1, we've got some things to do. But 1, we've got to go out and buy the commodity, and 2, we've got to close out this contract. So as far as closing let's take the buy the commodity first. So 6/1/1, we're going to debit inventory and credit cash, and it's 1,000,000 pounds. And on 6/1/1, we buy 1,000,000 pounds at $3.20 a pound. So we have bought at a much higher price than what the market was quoting in January when we entered into a contract to buy. So we basically bought the inventory at $3.05. That inventory is now worth $3.20 a pound. So we have a differential of 15 cents a pound, or $15,000. So our inventory, I'm on the wrong line here. We have 1 million pounds, we bought 1 million pounds, we go in and we actually buy in the spot market 1 million pounds at 320, so that's 320,000. That's our inventory value. Also on June 1 of 1, we're going to close out the commodity. So we look at what we have. We have a receivable. Receivable from broker, and it's going to be 1 million pounds times 3.20 minus 3.05. So we have a gain. We basically agreed to buy it for 305. The price has gone up, so we've made 15 cents per pound on it. So we have a debit to the receivable and a credit to OCI of 15,000. Now the reason we put it in OCI is that we want to match up. When we get to the income statement, it's a matter of matching expenses with gains and losses. So we have to look at how long it's going to take this inventory to move through the system. If we get it and process it in a few days, then we're going to close out this OCI at the end of June and take it out of OCI and put it on the income statement. If it takes us 60 days, then we may be looking at July or August before we pull the money out of OCI and move it. But at some point in time, we will pull it out of OCI and match it with the change with this inventory value, so that our net value to buy this good is $3.05, not $3.20. And the other thing we do on 6/1 of 1 is we're going to close out the transaction. We'll call the broker, say we want our cash. He sends us 15,000, and we debit the receivable.
So this is the cash flow hedge?
That's a cash flow hedge. The cash flow hedge is you're looking at hedging the value of a future transaction or an anticipated need.
So they expect to get 305, but at 6/1 it was 320, so the hedge owed them 15 extra to make up for it?
Right. Because, see, they basically bought it at 305, so they can turn, the value's gone up to 320, so when they close out the value of that hedge, they're selling it for more than they paid for it.
So where does the hedge make money on this? I mean, what's the point of the hedge?
The whole point of the hedge is they've locked in the price, so when this inventory that they're using in their processing, instead of costing $3.20, it's gonna cost them $3.05.
They still owe them 15.
And so this 15,000 will eventually be offset against the 320, and you'll be 305,000 will be the cost of the materials that goes into the product itself. You're shaking.
I mean, yeah, I get the accounting part of it, I just don't get why.
Because in January, they
See, in January,
Yeah, no,
okay, let's say this is considering worst case. The whole option here is they know that they're gonna need 100,000 pounds in June. They run an MRP run, it says, we gotta have 100,000 pounds in June. and they know what their price is, and they have a budget, and let's say their budget is more like 305. So they're gonna go out and they're gonna buy a futures contract for delivery. Now, this is gonna be a net settlement. It's not gonna be, they're not gonna send us warehouse receipts.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a net settlement, so we're gonna settle the futures contract and get our money off of that. And then later, we're gonna match what we made off the futures contract with what the price is of the inventory that's flowing into production. But the concept is, we're locked into something, and like at the first of the year, that our plan is for 305. We put out a price list. And how do you get a price list? You're going through and you're looking at what it's costing you to make it, what have been the cost of your inputs, what's your desired profitability. So you've got a pricing model that's based on an understanding of 305. You get down to the end, you get ready to buy that material. You can't buy it for 305, but you've got a hedge that's saving you 15 grand.
I have a question. If we were to debit futures contract instead of receivable from broker,
You can use those either way. They're the same thing. What it is it's basically a balance in an account with a brokerage.
And that's basically it for the price.
Pardon?
That's basically it for the cash flow hedge fund.
Right. This is cash flow. And the difference between fair value and cash flow, fair value is we're looking at over here at the fair value of the inventory. We keep adjusting the inventory to the fair value, so we're hedging against the changes in the fair value of the inventory. Over here, we just have an anticipated future need that we're hedging against.
So if we look at a particular problem, is the difference between the cash flow hedge and the fair value hedge, is that one, the value changes within the same year, and the other one, the value changes in a different
No,
year?
no. This is just the fact, over here, if you'd had a situation, let's say we had to close the books, let's say our year end is before this, we'd have to make an entry to adjust the value here and recognize the OCI. But you'd be putting the OCI in retained earnings, you're still not going to offset out of OCI. Eventually, there's going to be an entry to debit OCI and credit the inventory value.
So that's not a distinguishing factor between the two methods?
No, this is just showing what, and the deal is, there are a lot fewer entries over here.
Mhm.
This is a more complex situation because you're keeping up with the change in value, change in fair value of the asset, and the change in the fair value of the, well, not change in fair value, but change in fair value of the assets and change in value of the derivatives. Over here, you're just trading the change in value of the derivatives. In both of them, you're dealing with the transaction at the end. Here, our ending transaction is a sale, which looks just like any other sale that we recorded, right? Debit accounts receivable, debit cost of goods sold, credit sales, credit inventory. Over here, we're buying inventory and just putting it on the books. So we have a gain of $15,000 with an offset against that inventory when it.
So in the problem, we would basically be able to see that in the chart, it gives us a change in inventory value, and so that's how we know to do this method.
Right, it's gonna tell you if they have the inventory.
Okay, okay.
If they say, they have inventory of this on books, then you know you're concerned about the value, the change in value of an asset.
Okay.
And they, over here, they say it's a forecasted future need.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just need to be able to pick it out of the problem to know, you know, which way to do it.
So which one do you favor, the cash flow hedge or the fair
You don't favor either one. It's a situation, which one do you?
I'm gonna be hooked on that.
Lord, you know, it's just what side of the bed I get up on in the morning. The dog has pushed me out of the bed, Lord knows what.
You would like for both or one? You like for
Possibly both ways. on the
I'm gonna
test.
ask you for one of them.
Okay.
Now, this is kind of a second run through the derivatives. We've been through, the situation, went through addition